To market insight for the week of March 4th through the 8th. Starting with our top-down approach and the monthly chart, we can see the monthly continues on with its bullish run. Monthly's pushing up above its supply line. We created that trend channel from the lows in 2022. And now we're into the oversold or overshoot area, if you will, where the market is, where price is overshooting the supply line. And that's not an unusual happen. It's not unusual to see this happen. We often get overshoot. So February closed firm. That was last month. We only had one day so far in this month, but last month closes firm. So it does so on lighter volume, lighter than we've seen in several months, in fact. So demand may be tiring as we get up into this oversold level, and that would be one of the very first things that we would expect to see as the market starts to transition from an up move into some sort of a reaction on this time frame. But let's take a look at the weekly chart. Same thing, weekly's also continuing its march along in a strong trend run up. We had seen some weakness come in a few weeks ago, back in here, where we closed off of the highs. We had some heavier volume come in. And yet, the week before last, the market took just discounted all of that and continued higher, closed firm on that week. And now we have this week, which is also pushing up and closing firm, right? But I would notice that the range has narrowed a bit, the narrowest range since this week. And there's some shortening of the thrust. We're not making that much progress up compared to what we were making earlier. So that suggests some effort to go up and not a great result, meaning some supply is starting to show itself. Do note, however, that the week closed firm. It closed on its highs. So although we can start to see the presence of some supply coming in here, it hasn't yet had a significant impact on price. It hasn't caused price to close underneath the prior week's lows, the week's highs or the week's close. We haven't really seen supply come in yet. Okay, let's take a look at the daily. So the daily chart, we pulled back last week in the early part of the week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And after we broke out to new highs the prior week, let me get a pen here. So we break out to new highs here. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're pulling back. And then Thursday, Friday, we rally up a little bit. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were all narrow range days. They were all declining or coming down with low volume. We can see the low volume down in here. And the support along 50.66, it went a little under that to 50.60, but this level of support, this old resistance now turns into support. We see that all the time. It's just a cardinal guideline of ours. So the support was clearly holding, and we see buyers stepping in on Thursday, dipping it underneath the lows one last time, finding no supply down there, and pushing up on a pickup in volume, on an increase in volume. And it pushed up above the resistance of Tuesday and Wednesday's highs, right? And then closed firm on Thursday. So all of those, the high volume, the wider spread up, the rejection of lower prices, and the breaking of resistance all indicate bullishness in the price and volume action as it interacts with the support level. That's our cue that we're rallying up higher, right? And so we would anticipate more bullishness coming in on Friday. And Friday, look at what happens. We test into the pocket area of the Tuesday and Wednesday highs, right? That little pocket area. And then we press up into new high ground. We break up above the last Thursday's and Friday's resistance area here. We break up above that, and we see that volume picked up on Thursday and Thursday and Friday rally days, and we close firm on Friday. So there is still a lot of interest in the upside in this market. Let's take a quick look at the major indices and then take a look at what's on tap for this week. So the major indices were all nicely in sync up until Thursday, right? And that's this day here. And yeah, this is correct, right? Yeah, this is correct. All in sync here until Thursday. But on Friday, we see a decoupling. The Dow was unable to rally higher. In fact, it barely closed above the high of Thursday. So the blue chips may be the stocks that lead the market down when the reaction begins, which we're anticipating at pretty much any point here. So it'll be worthwhile to keep an eye on the Dow for more indications that the markets are ready to react if the Dow is indeed weak, which it surely looks like it. So let's go back to the daily and see what's on call for next week. Let me erase all these drawings here, get the pen. So for next week, I'm anticipating resistance between this reverse use of trend line here, this dash line that I put in, and the normal use of trend line, which I put in red here. Kind of rejiggered that a little bit this week. So somewhere between 5160 and 5175, maybe as high as 5180. This is the area I'm looking for resistance to finally take hold and supply to come in. We'll see if it does. I mean, it still can go higher. But that's the area that I'm looking for. So if we start to see somewhere between 5160 and 5175, maybe as high as 5180 start to hold, then we're likely to see this come back. And I wouldn't anticipate this level holding because we are pretty high up in the trend channel. I'd be expecting this to come back into the 5066, 5060 area in here. And if it does over the course of a few days, then we have confluence between the diagonal demand line and the horizontal support line over here. And that should hold at least initially. So, and that's where support would be likely if price gets down there. So 50, 60, anywhere from here up to say 5175, maybe 5180 is resistance, and then coming down to 5060 area or making its way down there. So that's what I'm seeing for this week. And then in terms of schedule, we are just our normal schedule for deep practice on Thursday, the 7th of March, and that's at our normal time. And I will see you then. Everyone have a good rest of the weekend and a good trading week next week, and I'll see you Thursday. Take care. Bye-bye.